Well, things aren't getting any better for Halo Infinite, and that pains me to say that as a big Halo fan, someone who's been following the series since it dropped on the original Xbox back in the early 2000s. Been almost 20 years since the franchise debuted here, and it's a shame to see this, but it really does look like there are some serious issues in the development for Halo Infinite, and at this point, I'm not even sure it's coming out next year for 2021. This might be a 2022 game. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure that like button helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the SpawnWave Plus channel, make sure that subscribe button down below. Let's go over here to Engadget. The original report comes from Bloomberg and Jason Schreier. Engadget says Halo Infinite director and studio head Chris Lee has stepped down from his role on the troubled game. Lee was overseeing the long-awaited next entry in the Halo series, which was supposed to arrive alongside the Xbox Series X and Series S consoles next month. However, Microsoft and 343 Industries have delayed Halo Infinite to sometime next year. So around the time we saw that footage, that was months ago, and we saw the debut for Halo Infinite, a lot of us looked at that footage, and I was good with the gameplay for the most part because it looked like old school Halo. It looked like Bungie's Halo. And that's what I like to hear, because 343's Halo, a lot of people in the Halo community are still not even sold on 343 and their direction for the game. So when I saw something that looked much closer to what we were used to in the first 3 entries, I'll say, of Halo, I was very optimistic. But then as that went through and the footage continued, and I have a video here on this channel where I go through it step by step and I'm looking at it, something seemed off. Yeah, the visuals weren't quite there, we'll say. It looked like it was a build that was rushed to be there on time, like just to be available to show during their event that they had. And it was weird to hear about that because this is Halo. This is Microsoft's Mario. You figured this would have their biggest push from studios and developers internally, and you know what? From what I've heard, it did. They had like everyone working on this game to try to get it out for the holiday, and that's still what they delivered to us. But we had heard about some issues in development with studio heads leaving, people shuffling in and out. It's really been all over the place, and now we have Chris Lee, someone who's been with 343, according to Engadget, since 2008. Working on several entries, as they say, like Halo Reach, Halo 4, Halo 5 Guardians. Didn't really care too much for 4 or 5. Reach was pretty fun, of course. I liked Reach. I think the story was really good because I liked the fall of Reach, and that book was really good, and to see it kind of play out on the big screen when you're playing it through it on your Xbox 360 and now the Xbox One and all that, it was really fun to see that. Chris Lee did give a quote to Bloomberg saying, "Looking at future opportunities, I believe in the team and am confident they will deliver a great game. Now is a good time for me to step away." So it looks like Chris Lee will still work at Microsoft. He's just being shifted off of the Halo Infinite project at 343. Don't know if he's working on some other project in 343 or if he's just kind of moving away to something else within Microsoft. I feel like 343 is completely set on Halo Infinite now, trying to get that done, and 343 has been on a short leash with the Halo fans as it is. And to see how far Halo has fallen with Halo Infinite to where it's just being memed like crazy online now because of quality concerns with the game itself after that footage is a shame. It really is. I mean, we should be talking about the hype level for Halo Infinite right now after an awesome showing a few months ago, and we're just a few weeks out from a new console, a new Xbox launching, and a new Halo game launching. And instead, we're sitting here trying to figure out if this game is going to be delayed a year, 2 years, 3 years. Seriously, it's all possible. This could be a 2022 game. Now, it does seem that Chris Lee actually left a few months ago, and to me, it kind of coincides with another personnel shift that they had, because people have been in and out for 343 and the Halo Infinite project. For example, they say creative director Tim Longo and executive producer Mary Olson departed last year, and I remember Halo community managers had to like respond on Reddit saying, "Oh no, everything's fine." And I believe they mentioned Chris Lee is still with them working on all of this, so we're good. Here we are now. Chris Lee is leaving the project. Oh, good. But if you remember, they brought in Joe Staten. He's going to be working on the campaign, specifically the cinematics. And when I heard that, I said, why are they bringing someone in who specializes in cinematics and storytelling if the campaign was going to be ready to go this holiday? Like, what is happening with that one? It really does feel like this game just was not going to be able to come out this holiday. So it's weird to me that they would bring someone in if they really were just pushing through bugs and all of this, and it didn't go any deeper than that, things like story, overall cinematography and all of that. But why would you bring in someone who specializes in more of the storytelling and the cinematic side if you really were just trying to work out some bugs? I kind of feel like this game was rebooted at least once, maybe twice, and there could have been a serious shift in overall development and vision around the time of that footage being shown and kind of the reception of it. Now, keep in mind, they also brought in Pierre Hintz, and this person actually revived Master Chief Collection. Look, the Master Chief Collection, when it came out, was a disaster. It was a mess, and that's another thing that people look at 343 and kind of blame them for, but the Master Chief Collection is significantly better now, really is. It's to the point where you get it, there's a ton of value there, it's on Game Pass, and you can have a great time. When it first came out, though, it took like 20 minutes to find a game if you could at all. It was really bad when it came to just functioning. So right now, I have more confidence in the multiplayer side of Halo Infinite, and you know what? There was talks about Halo Infinite's multiplayer maybe being released before the campaign is ready. If it's ready, and we're good to go for Halo Infinite multiplayer next year, but the campaign's still being held up, release the multiplayer on the Game Pass. It's going to be a free-to-play game. We already went through a whole thing with the coding system because it feels like it's going to be Destiny shaders all over again, and it's like, you know, just put the multiplayer out. Fans are already getting frustrated with this game and the development, and now hearing about some crazy microtransaction scheme that's going on. So to me, it's like, release the multiplayer if it is ready. There are people who probably don't even care about the campaign. Seriously, Sean told me he's never beat a Halo campaign. And is that a problem? Yes, because the Halo campaigns are awesome. So everyone should play them. And I will play the Halo Infinite campaign, obviously. But I do wonder if for some people, that is enough to spend $60 on it. Is the Halo campaign up there enough? Now, again, Game Pass, some people just be like, I'll just download it and try it out and play it and see what it's about because I already have Game Pass. But maybe that's another thing. Maybe they're looking at the Halo Infinite campaign because it's being treated separately from the multiplayer, and they feel like it has to be to a certain level for it to be its own product. And then to me, that just comes back to decision making. Like the multiplayer, the campaign, one package, $60, that's it. I'd be buying it right away. I wouldn't even Game Pass that game. I would buy it just to make sure I have it physically on disc, and I'd be good to go when it drops. So it's weird to me that some of these decisions were made and now they seem to be changing things up on the fly. And it's, man, Halo's fallen so far. Do you know when Halo 3, because it was Halo 2, but like Halo 3, I think is when Halo hit peak popularity. Came out on the 360, 2007. The 360 was already, it was red hot at the time. When that game dropped, the video game world stopped. I mean, really, it was all Halo 3. I'd go online playing it. Everyone on the friends list was playing Halo 3. It was the talk all over the internet. It was so different compared to what Halo Infinite has been received as. And it's a shame to see, and it makes you wonder, Microsoft maybe should have held on to Bungie. Maybe that is the issue. It's hard to say right now, and I hope there is a documentary at some point that comes out that goes over some of the development struggles with this, because even successful games go through some crazy stuff in development. God of War, where we had Raising Kratos, you look at that development, and that is a successful game that's come out, really well received by critics, has sold well, and it looked like they had some of their own development issues, missing deadlines, and being even unsure of the game itself. So, yeah, I assume at this time, Halo Infinite's development has got to be wild behind the scenes. But let me know what you guys think about this situation with now Chris Lee stepping down. More departures on the Halo Infinite project with 343. We thought maybe this would just be a few months delay and we could see this over the summer. I don't know, guys. I think this is a 2022 game at best. That'd be the earliest. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.